You're listening to The Real Short Box, a comic book podcast made for geeks by geeks.
Brothers and sisters, welcome once again to the most righteous, the most compelling, the irreplaceable and impeccable show podcast on the internet, The Real Short Box. My name is Kevin, the doctor of pop culture and comics.
Jesus. I am Laird Donald McKinney.
I'm Sir Jared Galante the Fourth. A long line of Galantes. 3, actually, before me.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
3 generations.
No, just 3 other guys.
Just 3 other guys.
We were quadruplets.
Oh!
We all have the same name.
So you got the George Foreman thing going on.
Yeah.
Well, you were the only one that won out of the womb thing. It was like you absorbed all the others, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like the Jamie Madrox of 1979.
Or I'm like, what's his name? Watu from Total Recall?
From Total Recall.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
out of some guy's belly right now. I made it. Wait.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about what's in our short box, right? This is a segment where we really nerd it up, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We each bring a short box, one that we haven't brought before,
Mm-hmm.
and we all look through each other's short boxes, like all together. Like me, Jarrett, and Kevin will all look through Kevin's short box, and we'll pick like 4 or 5 or 6 comic books that we want to talk about, that we want to highlight. And then we go to Jarrett's box and we all do the same thing, and then go to my box. So these are all issues that we own, but that we love and that we each appreciate of one another's collections, which I think is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to brag about them. And we are in our tidy whities, all 3 of us.
Yes.
Only when we look at the comics. Right now, we're fully dressed. We're not weird, you guys.
Right.
So I'll start with a book that was, I would say, a pretty damn hot book, but now is super hot because movies.
I mean, it's on fire
It's
right
on
now.
fire right now. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 361. It is the first appearance of Carnage.
Now, I feel like, I don't know, like I'm on the fence about this, because introducing Carnage in a movie like Venom,
Too soon.
yeah, Venom seems like should be the primary character, and it feels like Carnage might
Take the show.
upstage him, yeah, so to speak.
Well, it depends. Well, it's good and bad. It depends because, one, they're obviously going to want to introduce, however they're doing it with the symbiote. So everything is obviously in this movie is going to be symbiote based. So they're going to have, hopefully how Eddie Brock got his symbiote. Then they're going to introduce that. I think they'll actually stick to probably similar to the origin, because Venom's an anti-hero. So I bet they start out with Eddie Brock. I don't know if they do the whole Daily Bugle thing where he worked with that and the Spider-Man tie-in, like where he wants revenge. But I can definitely see them making him a criminal, having him in jail with a cellmate of Cletus Cassidy, having the symbiote somehow get to him, and that's how Cletus Cassidy, somehow establishing that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So you have an anti-hero who's got some morals, and then you have one villain who has none, like Carnage. But the only way I'd say it's a positive is that if Venom's going to be an anti-hero and we're going to establish him as that, you need a really actual bad guy,
A psychopath.
a psychopath, to make him look good, to make Venom look good.
Right.
So you would need a Carnage, and he is, a serial killer with the symbiote attached to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now this book, though,
I would call, and I'm sorry to interject, but
No.
I would call Carnage the Joker
I
of
was about to say that.
yeah, of the Marvel universe.
he is, but obviously with not as much clout. Like, Joker's just been way more established. I think we could all agree that Joker's just been written in a million better stories than Carnage has.
It's like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Carnage, yeah, for sure, is a definite Joker of the MCU, or the Marvel Universe comics, too. Now, this book, though, is funny because it was always... What was it like prior to the movie announcement? What would you like, 60?
Like a $30, $40 book.
No, yeah, well, because of the Spider-Man movie that just, they announced it, Spider-Man Homecoming, they weren't at the time sure who was going to be the villain. and they knew it was a partial Sony production. So Carnage, it was easy a $60 to $80 book at that
Right.
point. Yeah.
Right, but now
After the
it's,
last week or so,
it's
got out of
minimum
control.
100. I mean, minimum legit like in the hundreds.
Right.
But
Even second printing is going for around $55, $60.
right, but of course, as we've talked about before on our prospecting episodes, where we shame mostly eBay sellers.
Yes.
This book has got some of the most ridiculous prices. As Kevin, you have one that you literally printed out because it was
yes,
that
to
bad.
show proof. There is a gentleman, I won't go by his name for obvious reasons, to protect the innocent, or in this case, protect the guilty.
Rick Dirksley goes by at my dick 36.
There's a gentleman, but you wouldn't want to say his name 3 times.
Yes. Basically, he's selling, I guess he has a triple cover print of this issue.
So explain what a triple cover print is.
Essentially, what it is it was a mistake that was done.
A misprint.
An error. And essentially, there's 3 covers that were printed onto one book.
So they just accidentally got 3 covers and stapled it to the story inside.
The binding,
Right.
yeah, to the binding.
Yeah.
Now, this person here believes that for this very rare occurrence, that it's worth, are you ready for this?
Yes.
$59,999.
So 60 G's.
$60,000.
Oh, my Lord and gravy.
Now, I'm going to read to you his ad.
Hey, wait. First,
Uh-oh.
let's be fair.
Yes,
he
yes.
does have the make an offer option.
Yes, he does have to make an offer.
Which, no joke, I did $2. I said I was going to do $5, you guys,
Yeah.
and I actually just did 2, but it
Yeah.
did that immediate, like, your offer is not accepted.
Yes, accepted. Now, I'm going to read to you his little ad here. It says, yes, a triple cover. I was gifted this a while ago, as I am known to be an amazing Spider-Man fan. I don't know the statistics, but I very rarely see triple covers. The book is very clean. Has a small cut on the top of the book that is a common manufacturing defect in this issue, as I've been told. The top staple appears to not have gone in straight, which is probably why the triple cover happened.
So he's, like, downgrading his already enormously overpriced book.
Yes, it sticks out a little from the comic and then goes into the comic.
It's kind of a piece of shit, but anyway.
The normal.
60,000.
Yeah, see the pictures for what I'm talking about. I am happy to send additional photos. Please ask any questions you may have. I am happy to answer any and all.
I have one. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking insane?
I can know how much crack, cocaine, meth, heroin that he's been doing to offer this book for $60,000.
Well, now he's done a lot, and now he needs the money to buy more.
Right.
Ah, yes.
Or
That
pay
is-
off the dealer.
Okay, so here's the thing with cover defects. You're in one of 2 camps. Camp number 1 is it's defective. It's worth less.
It's not like an original. Yeah.
Worthless in some cases.
Yeah.
And then there's the camp that is I like collecting defects. It's more valuable to me because they made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only way in my eyes that something like this works is not so much if it's a defect or a misprint or something. It's if someone got away with something. Like, for instance, they did I think it was a Universe X or something like that type thing a while back where they had a bookshelf on the cover or inside the, no, it was inside the issue. They had a bookshelf in there, and on it, it said something about Bob Harris. Some derogatory thing
Really?
was worded in the binding on the book.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that got figured out. Some, fan figured it out and posted it, and
Yeah.
then Marvel had to pull all the books, get that part redone, and then reprint out the books.
Yeah, see, that's
That's
controversial.
different. That's different.
Right.
That's
That's
different.
completely different, and that to me makes it more valuable.
Yes.
But having an accident where 3 covers are stapled to the outside of a book, and not even in a good way, like obviously the staple's loose and it could fall off at any point.
Right.
That's not a good thing. That's not
No.
a 60,000. That's like I for that cover. If somebody said, "Oh, it's a triple cover book," I'd be like, "I'll give you $10 for it."
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm in the camp of, like, unless it's a controversial thing where it's like, yeah, they had to pull something. Like, I know a lot of this stuff happened. My brother used to collect baseball cards growing up. And there was a Cal Ripken Jr. card, and on his bat, they didn't notice when they took the picture, one of his friends, or friends in quotes, fellow players wrote "fuck you" on the bottom of the bat, and they printed like hundreds of those cards, and then they pulled it, and then they reissued it with like a line over it. But those fuck you cards, I don't know what they are now, but at the time, they were worth a lot because it was like, dude, I got the fuck you card. So like you were saying with that Bob Harris thing, like saying something mean about like an editor or something like
That's
that.
one
and
thing.
They didn't know. That's one thing. But yeah, just 3 covers to me is just like, that's just a stupid fuck up and should be, worth less, if anything.
Yeah. I mean, you would be like, oh, can I rip one of these off or 2 of them and, and then kind of fix the staple a little bit
Make
and then
it
sell
look
it
like
for
a
more.
real, like an original one.
Yeah.
This man gives New Jersey a bad name. He's from Clifton, New Jersey, the Adam location.
Eesh.
Oh my goodness.
Go there and slap him.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, not really.
What do you got, Mr. Donald?
Oh, I have a good one here. I have Green Lantern Green Arrow number 116. This is the first appearance of Guy Gardner as a Green Lantern. It's a great book. It's got on the cover, it's Green Lantern co-starring Green Arrow. And then on the left-hand side, it's showing from Green Arrow's point of view, Green Lantern charging his battery. And his back's turned to him. And he's like, Green Lantern, stop charging your power ring before it's... And then on the other side of the cover, it shows him in the doorway, Green Arrow, and he's yelling, and he finishes it, and he says, too late! And then Green Lantern, it just looks like he's being exploded.
Yeah, by yellow energy out of his green battery.
Yeah, so he was tricked somehow, or something happened. But we'll have to wait and see inside.
Now, Guy Gardner, is he prominent in it, or is he kind of like introduced at the end? Like how?
I don't know.
No,
No, I never opened it.
you're like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
What condition?
Well, we're gonna open it today.
What is that? What does that go for now?
I honestly am not sure.
Really?
I would say probably triple digits.
Yeah,
I would say it's at least $100 book. I paid, I think, like $30
yeah.
at the time when I got it.
Because Guy Gardner's definitely got a cult following.
He's got a cult following,
Yeah.
definitely. And now that they announced the Green Lantern Corps movie,
You know he's gonna be in there.
right?
They
and-
would be stupid not to, because he's such a personality. that-
right.
Yeah.
And if he's a breakout hit in that, this book could go through the roof. So
Yeah.
prospecting wise, this is a good one to get on board with right away if you can.
Right.
So Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 116, highly recommend it.
And
It's
we're
a
gonna
cool looking
and
book.
myself and Jared, we're about to bid on this book right now and take it out of your hands
Bid on it. What are you going to bid with me, or just against each other? and
against
then
against each other.
for the rights to beat my ass and take my book. Okay.
Pretty much.
That sounds great. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
I'll see you later.
Welcome.
All right, my book here. The first one is it's a reasonable classic book, I believe.
Is it?
It is Iron Man number 55.
Oh.
Oh, I think I've. You know what? That book isn't worth shit anymore. Let me take it off your hands.
Sure, take it, sir.
And take it to my car.
Yes.
And take it into my hands.
Yes, I mean
forever.
yes, the first appearance of Thanos, it ain't worth nothing.
Nope. Well, first Drax the Destroyer.
Ain't worth nothing.
First Star
Fox.
Fox.
Ain't worth nothing.
First
Blood Brothers.
Blood Brothers.
Ain't worth nothing.
Well, Drax is in Guardians of the Galaxy right now.
Oh,
1 and
that's
2.
true.
And David Bautista has played him actually very well.
Yes,
I
he
thought.
has.
He's been great. He's kicked ass. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been very good. This is a cool cover. Very cool. It's got a couple guys in there. The Blood Brothers, right? That's
Yes.
them?
One's choking out Iron Man. Drax is coming to save him.
They look like red things, kind of.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do a little bit.
I don't even know if they might have appeared like one other time or something after that. Like they didn't have a long run.
They didn't have a long run at all.
Not as long as Drax. And this book at one point was probably so gettable, and now it's not.
No, it's not.
That
Yeah.
was a $100 book.
And what's funny is, you remember the last convention we went to, fellas, at WonderCon? We saw it for $1,000 at some booths.
Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
I know it's
easily.
going to go for more than that now. That'll be a $2,500 book in your hands right there.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Yep.
And it's good condition too. That's a nice one.
I could pay like 2 months or 3 months worth of rent with this. But of course, I'm not stupid. I would
Don't
never
cheapen it like that.
I would never.
Rent.
I would never sell this book. This is a precious book. This book will be taken with me to the cryogenic chamber when I pass.
Oh, well, don't let them put it in the chamber. Let them put it in its own, like, hermetically sealed sub-chamber.
Ah, yes, yes.
So it doesn't get cold, because
Yes.
then it'll get, when
Yeah,
when-
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Now, this next book kind of actually piggybacks off the, at least the Guardians of the Galaxy spot.
Okay.
This is the Eternals, number 2. On the cover, it says, "More fantastic than the chariots of the gods. This is it, the coming of the Celestials."
Ooh la la.
Now, the Eternals were completely created by Jack Kirby. This is Jack Kirby art. Doesn't I think that's Icarus, who is one of the head of the Eternals. He looks like He-Man on the front with a Looks like just regular clothes He-Man, like Prince Adam.
Yeah,
Um,
less sissified Prince Adam.
exactly. The Eternals are cool. They're pretty much just Kirby's space gods, his new gods in Marvel, more or less. And they've lasted a lot. They've lasted a while, but the Celestials, who are like pretty much space gods, right? The Celestials are supposedly the reason the creation of the Marvel universe, right? In the history, that's how they kind of went back. Like they were the ones who pretty much created everything.
Yeah, retconning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're these giant space gods. We saw a glimpse of one in the first Guardians. Did they show him in the second one? I can't remember if they mention it. Well, they say Ego's a Celestial, right?
Right.
Which in the comics he's not. He's one of
not.
the elders of the universe.
Universe, yeah.
But
And they cheated.
yeah. But the Celestials are a prominent part. This book is still totally gettable. It's beautiful Kirby art. The Celestials to me are just such a staple of Marvel history.
And let us not forget, they end up connecting Apocalypse's
Mm-hmm.
technology powers to him.
Well, and
To
also,
them.
if we do, I mean, if anybody's read the Infinity War, the original one, or the Infinity Gauntlet, I'm sorry, there's a point where once Thanos gets the Infinity Gauntlet, he takes on like Eternity, who we talked about. He takes on all the cosmic beings that rule the world and defeats them. And the Celestials were like the top, tier of that because they were like the space gods who created everything. So yeah, I think it's definitely just a cool book. Obviously, anything Kirby always looks cool. You can never go wrong with it.
Kirby makes my pants tight.
Yeah,
Does he now?
he makes my pants tight, and he makes me want to put a crown on my tip of my penis so I can be the king of comics. Yeah,
Aw, little tiny crown.
Yeah.
That almost sounds adorable.
look at that. Oh, your penis is cute.
Clever.
Wow, I can't believe where this program's
Oh,
going.
I know. We're heading into some weird shit here.
Speaking of weird shit,
What do you got, Kevin?
or is it you?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
That's right. It is me. I do have something weird. It's Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. Now, this one is Steranko, Jim Steranko.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
male model.
No, his art's fantastic.
Sort of great. Yeah.
This cover, he was known for bringing like innovation into Marvel and bringing it back as far as like the striking covers. And the reason why for his methods that he drew were more 3D, trippy 3D methods. And on this one, it's like a bunch of blocks. And it's got Nick Fury hiding behind one, another Fire Lord looking dude, like around the corner of the block. And then there's a lady and around another block. And then there's a guy that looks like a scorpion on top of a block that's got a scorpion on it. There's Dum Dum Dugan down at the bottom. And it says on the block that Dum Dum Dugan's standing between, there's one that has a shield symbol, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of symbol looking thing to it. And then there has another symbol next to it and it says, "Who is Scorpio?"
Mm-hmm.
And then off to the left of that, there's a skull with a...
It's very
one-eyed.
psychedelic and very swinging 60s.
It's very hard to explain, yeah, because there's like some a bunch of lines, black and white lines that Nick Fury's hiding behind. There's part of the one character with the flaming key or whatever he's holding. He's standing on another one with orange and pink and red circle kind of lava lamp-esque
All you need
patterns.
is like, the only thing missing is like shag carpeting at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it's like lipstick and peppermints and da-da-da-da.
Right,
Yeah, it's just
right.
like-
It's so trippy and just gorgeous.
yeah,
I mean,
it's amazing.
even today, if you set this on a shelf,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people would be drawn to it. It's just a very beautiful cover.
As they should be.
Yeah, and Steranko went on. He did okay for himself.
He did okay.
You know, he carved out a pretty good career.
He's
And-
mostly known, I mean, as far as like his what he's mostly known for, famous for, is those Shield covers, though, right? I mean, a lot of that Shield work.
Yeah. Yep.
He did some great stuff.
Yep. And Kevin, what do you got?
Well, continuing on the weird theme, I have an old EC book from the 50s, Weird Science number 20. And one thing I love about the EC covers, they're just so distinct, so beautiful, that you knew this had a bit of influence on Mr. Jim Steranko, amongst many other artists that would come later.
And serial killers.
And serial killers.
Yeah, this is a classic rape one here. This is,
And he's not just exaggerating. The cover is pretty creepy.
yeah, it's pretty rape-esque. It's got a bunch of these women. They're all in cryogenic chambers, and they're all like scantily dressed. And the dude's like out of the cryogenic chamber, and he's just standing there, and he's pointing, and he's like, alone in space with 50 frozen dolls, just waiting to be thawed. Yeah, just waiting to be. You can already
Quote,
hear it,
unquote,
right?
thawed.
Right. Now let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, rape.
Oh, it's so
like
creepy.
it's just very creepy.
Get a Ray Bradbury story in there.
Hey, Ray Bradbury.
Also in this issue, EC's adaptation of a story by Ray Bradbury, America's top science fiction writer. Good for him. 10-cent cover.
Weird science.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
EC, which stands for an entertaining comic.
Really? That's what it stood for? That's
Yep.
great.
Now, of course, there's a famous movie from the 1980s.
Weird
Science.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
Isn't Robert Downey Jr. in that?
Yeah, like a small part. He's
Yeah.
like one of the bullies.
Yeah, he's like a dick.
He's like a dick.
Yep.
Tony Stark.
Here you go.
Early Tony Stark.
Ernie Tony Stark.
Uh-oh. It's made its way into my pile. I guess it's mine now.
That's true. You didn't really notice it. I mean, it was right in front of you.
Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, no.
Ha ha ha.
Is that me now?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to go real random and super easy to get. This book is The New Mutants number 29. On the cover, it's got some weird... it's Bill Sienkiewicz art, and it's
Sikowitz.
Mix it Spitlick. And it's got this weird like horse creature beating up Sunspot in a gladiator match, and it says Sunspot versus the Gladiators to the death. Now, to be honest, I don't know anything about that story. The reason I got this book is because in this book we meet a character by the name of we met in a New Mutants annual number 1. Her name is Leela Cheney, and she's cool. She's a spacefaring rock star. She's like, her mutant power, she's a mass teleporter, and she can teleport pretty much anywhere. And she's got a band. But her bodyguard is none other than, I think it's Guido Carosella, who we know as Strong Guy.
Who would later join X Factor.
Join X Factor as Strong Guy. Strong Guy, I would say he's like a C-lister.
Yeah.
He's really cool, though. If you read, who was it, Peter David's X Factor? So he just really breathed life in that character. They kind of brought him into the X-Men because he was helping out during that whole Shadow King story when he was just Guido. And then you find out later on he's a mutant. He's got this indistinguishable, very distinct look. He's like huge, bulky, like overly muscular guy, like almost like he's diseased with muscles. And he's bald except for one little piece of tufted hair in the front, and he wears these like John Lennon sunglasses. And he's he goes to the beat of his own drum.
He looks like a little baby, though, in the face. That's what always bothered me.
He does look like a little weird baby, but we find out his powers are actually very similar to, we've talked about Sebastian Shaw, the Black King. He could absorb kinetic energy and turn into strength, except the reason he looks so freakishly muscular is his muscles expand and grow when he absorbs that energy. So he starts looking freakish. And during the X Factor run, everybody's giving them their nicknames. They're like introducing themselves to the press, and like, I'm Havoc, Polaris, Madrox the Multiple Man, Quicksilver, Wolfsbane. And then he's like, I'm Strong Guy. And they're like, are you serious? You're calling yourself Strong Guy? He's like, yeah, I'm calling myself Strong Guy. And he goes with that forever. And he's just a fun character. Definitely underused. I think they might have even killed him. I don't even know. I can't keep track with like who they kill him though. But he's a guy that I love him. He should come back. Will this book ever be worth anything? Very doubtful. So get it. If you like the character, get it. These are the books I like because it's like, oh, I love that character. Oh, his first appearance is $2.
What if they put him in the sequel to New Mutants in 3 years?
Oh, he can pop up either way. There's a million ways. But the thing is, he would have to be some kind of weird CGI when they show his powers, because that's really part.
You know what they could do in the cinematic universe? Make him into a villain.
Or they could have a smaller guy, and then when he gets stronger, he turns into Lou Ferrigno.
There you go.
It's not a bad idea, huh?
Old Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah.
Aww.
So you could just get into fights at signings at conventions.
Which might actually just really happen in real life.
It did happen in real life. Yeah.
In fact, it'll probably happen again next month.
The guy that played Flash Gordon, they got into a fight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Old Flash Gordon and old Hulk.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. My money was on Flash.
Yeah, he was a football player.
Yeah, he's sassy.
Well, he's a footballer. He's got more movement, whereas a bodybuilder is kind of more like in place.
Mm-hmm.
I always said that I could challenge any like buff dude, but I would just want to get him like on the day right after he did his leg workout, like the next day. I'd be like, I'll get him then. He'd be like, oh, I'm so sore. I'd be like, I'll fucking kick your ass. Run circles around him. Just punch him and...
That's a good thought on that. Yeah, I like that.
Got a little Mackem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a punch out reference for you guys.
Well, Strong Guy was a strange dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got some strange adventures for us here.
Literally.
Literally. I've got Strange Adventures number 180 and 190. And the reason why I have Strange Adventures number 180 and then 10 issues later, 190, is because it's the first appearance of a little gentleman known as Buddy Baker, a.k.a. Animal Man.
Great character.
Now, issue number 180 says, added attraction, one monster coming up. It says Strange Adventures. I was the man with animal powers. And then like it has like little stamps, and then it shows Buddy running, and he's got like on what is
like
that?
A flannel?
Red flannel with like slacks.
Like a lumberjack flannel.
Right. And he's like, I could spring like a tiger. And he shows him running. And the other stamp, it shows him swim like a sea lion. And he's swimming. And then he's breaking a log with his hands. It just shows his hands breaking a log in the next stamp, and it says, I was as strong as a gorilla. But, and then in the giant kind of stamp looking thing at the bottom, he's fighting this monster, this like orange looking,
like,
you know, the monster that Bugs Bunny used to fight?
Yeah.
My little bunny George. You know
that
that?
like hairy.
Yeah. Looks like him, only all orange with purple trunks.
It's a cross between him and Beastman from He-Man.
Yeah, and it says, was I good enough to stop this living nightmare? So that's issue 180. That's the first appearance of Buddy Baker. He really didn't have a superhero name back then until 10 issues later, when New Adventures of Two New Superheroes. The Adventures of Two New Superheroes, Strange Adventures, Immortal Man, the hero who lived and died 100 times. Shows Immortal Man, just a dude in a suit, shirt, and tie.
Just a guy.
Using some type of blast to this horned green Goliath-looking furry monster. And then next to it, there's a slash across the page, and it says, A-Man, the hero with animal powers. And it's obviously Animal Man, but they called him A-Man at the time. So that's the
A-Man!
The origin of A-Man. And it shows behind him in the background, it shows a big elephant, a tiger, a gorilla, a fish, and a bird.
Now, do you know which one's harder to, like, were worth more, I guess I should say?
The A-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with, what's his face? Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Scott Lang.
Scott Lang to the Ant-Man.
His first appearance is not worth nearly as much as his first appearance as Ant-Man.
Right.
Same thing with Buddy Baker.
Right.
But they're still both not easy to find, and you're probably not going to get them in the best condition.
They're real. They're both hard to find. Exactly what you just said. They're really hard to find in good condition.
Yeah, it's very expensive if you want to get them in great condition.
Yeah.
But what do you got, Kevin?
Well, I have another classic, but we're going to go a non-Marvel, non-DC book. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1.
Oh, hey, just a teenage in my pile.
There you go.
It's not the first print, though.
Back out of the
Throw
pile.
it out of the pile.
Yep. Okay.
But it still probably goes for a pretty penny because those sold
hard
out.
to find.
Well, those first printings are like a
Ridiculous.
like a holy like relic, though. I mean, because there
Well,
was
the holiest of relics would be Gobbledygook.
That's true. That is technically their first appearance.
Because there's only
Really?
like literally like maybe 30, 40, 50 of them. Some very small number of those that were made, and it's like it's like $5,000 or something like that,
Well,
or
didn't-
more to just get
who was it?
Yeah.
Eastman and
Laird.
Laird. Didn't they?
That was the first appearance of Ninja Turtles.
But didn't
officially.
they literally did it themselves, right?
Yes.
It was like out of their apartment
Yes.
kind of thing. Like
Yes, totally independent, straight up independent.
Yeah, and they thought it was funny that every character was either in comics a teenager, some type of mutant. They had ninja abilities,
And an animal,
and there was animals and they were like, okay, so we'll do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And then the original theme was also not making fun of or parroting Frank Miller Daredevil too, right?
Yeah, because instead of the hand, it was the foot that they were fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Foot Clan.
So once again, I just love this. Two guys fucking around. Now they're millionaires.
Oh yeah, and I never met Laird, but Eastman is the nicest guy.
Oh yeah, he signed
heard,
our books. He was really nice. Good
Took
conversation.
pictures with us. I felt like we could invite him for drinks afterwards and
Yeah.
go out and have a
Yep.
good time. Yeah, he was just super chill, super nice guy.
I mean, good, because yeah, you're like, I'm, like I said, I'm super successful, super rich from something I was just fucking around on, having fun, which is the best way to get super successful and super rich. Just doing something you have fun,
Absolutely.
and fucking around with.
And he owns the Heavy Metal magazine.
That's right.
Yeah, he bought that,
Wow.
which is pretty cool. He was probably really into it when he was younger,
Yeah,
and then now he owns it. That's cool,
that
right?
is cool.
By the way, I have a confession to make, fellas.
What's that?
This actually is a first print, so I'm just gonna.
Oh no, let
What?
me see that for real. I'll double check. I have a magnifying glass in my car. I can.
Yeah,
Just
we'll
give
just
it
take
to
it
me.
out to your car.
Okay, okay,
He'll take it out to his car and check it, and we'll bring it back
okay. No problem.
eventually. 17 years later.
Well, speaking of going to my car, no, I have no segue for this.
Well,
book.
don't you have a dead hooker in the trunk?
That's right. I have a
And
dead
if
hooker
she
in
would
trunk.
have
And
gotten out, it would have been a miracle.
It would have been a missed. No. This is Mr. Miracle number 1, guys. This is the first appearance of Mr. Miracle, scot free. How great is that? Scot free.
Scot free.
Yeah, getting away scot free.
Funny.
Mr. Miracle is such a cool character. One of my favorite costumes. One of my favorite just all-around covers for his issues. Every cover of his comic, I think it was like 15 issues or something like that. Every cover is him in some crazy diabolical device that he has to escape from. And yeah, so it says, he cheats death, he defies man. That's weird. No traps can hold him. Mr. Miracle, super escape artist, the making of a legend. And he says he's in a rock. He's chained up to about 1,000 different chains and being shot out of a rocket. And it says, my enemies think that escape from this is impossible, but they're in for a rude shock. And there's a guy on the ground going, goodbye, Mr. Miracle. You lost your wager and your life.
Now, this one's also pretty obtainable right now.
Yeah,
Like, it's a reasonably priced book, like $40-$50, right?
totally.
Yeah, and the big thing is, and you know, oftentimes we like to talk about the prospecting while we talk about the books we pull, because I think that's important, especially for people listening that might be interested in knowing this Mr. Miracle. Now, you know, you're going to have the planet
Right.
that Darkseid lives on, which is
Apocalypse.
right.
Yeah.
And then what is the opposite of that?
New Genesis.
New
Yeah.
Genesis. Now, Mr. Miracle was a New Genesis guy,
Right.
and so was his wife, Big Barda.
Mm-hmm.
So the possibility of them maybe even being in the movie is pretty good, but just being mentioned is also good, because if they do a sequel, odds are they're going to be in it.
Right.
So this is a book to pick up right now,
Before it's
everybody.
too late.
Like right now. I mean,
it's too late.
once you hear this, go out and buy it at your local shop if you can find it, or get on eBay
Yeah.
and just buy yourself a nice copy, because it's going to go through the roof.
And aside from that, he's just a cool goddamn character. He's
Yeah.
just a cool
And
character.
every cover he has,
Yeah.
every one of them is just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just a
Surprised
work
no
of
one's
art.
cosplayed as him yet.
And that's true. Or the couple.
Or the
That'd
couple.
be a good couple.
Yeah.
Now, also, the cool thing about Mr. Miracle is, like I was saying, his covers are great. But if you, we were talking about New Genesis and Apocalypse, almost like 90% of like the smaller Apocalypse characters and stuff like that, like the people who work for Darkseid as
Right.
elite, are all introduced in his book. Like the female Furies are introduced in Mr. Miracle. Kanto, who's like his Darkseid's assassin.
Granny Goodness.
Granny Goodness.
Granny Goodness. Yep.
Baron Wunderbar. They're all introduced. So all these guys that can possibly be part of the Justice League world or the DC movie world, if they do Apocalypse, which I think they will do with Darkseid and everything, they're all their first appearances in these books, and all of these books are super attainable. And extra added bonus, it's Jack Kirby again. Great art, just amazing.
The
It's
master.
beautiful. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Kirby.
New.
Yeah. Well, I've got one real quick I'm going to go through. This one is the Demon number 3. On the cover, it's a very interesting cover, and you guys really wanted me to talk about this one. It has a giant dragon-looking thing that's green, and he's holding a chain, and chained to the chain is Jason Blood on the left side, and the demon Etrigan on the right side. So they're
They've been separated.
Yeah, they've been separated. And this demon appears to be coming out of water that's on fire. and there's like smoke and mountains in the background, and it
As
says
demons are prone to do.
right.
Yeah.
And it says, if you lived a former life, then you may become a victim of the reincarnators. Meet Jason Blood as the demon. Now, the reason why you guys really wanted me to talk about this issue or bring it out was because particularly of the green-looking dragon demon-esque thing that's coming out of the water. Kirby did the artwork for this, Jack Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
And this looks an awful lot like a Marvel dragon demon-esque villain that we've seen in Marvel before, and that would be...
Fin.
Fang.
Foom.
Right. Fin Fang Foom.
Kevin and I both said that immediately. We said that looks like Fin Fang Foom.
So it was like, who came first, the chicken or the egg? I think Fin Fang Foom came first,
Right.
and then this guy. So obviously,
But it doesn't matter because I looked it up, and Fin Fang Foom was co-created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
yeah,
So he obviously had this design either regurgitated or refined it and put it on
yeah,
this book.
yeah. But it's still beautiful. This is a
Oh,
beautiful
totally.
book. It's this bright green dragon, dead center on the cover, and the demon over top of it in red with flames. Like you can't pass this up on a shelf either. If you saw this,
No.
you know, it's just so bright and vibrant, guys.
And demon
Beautiful.
books too are another ones. Kirby art, beautiful and totally gettable.
Right, absolutely.
So will that
We got one more.
got
I
one
think.
more? Okay.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, everyone. Just wanted to mention real quick about a shop in Canoga Park, California called Spiro's Heroes. Elliot, the proprietor of the store, has over 300,000 books in what's called the Temple of Comics. That's Spiro Heroes in Canoga Park. Spiro'sHeroes.com.
Yes, Action Comics number 291. Donald pulled it out of my box because he likes these. Would you refer to super?
Super Dickory.
Yes.
Extra, Supergirl meets her Kryptonian parents. It's a couple guys shooting, it looks like kryptonite rocks.
But it looks like kryptonite Nerf guns.
Yeah, and Superman's just smiling and they're bouncing off his chest. And one of the guys says, "You're finished, Superman. Our kryptonite bullets will destroy you." And Superman says, "That's what you think. I've become 100% invulnerable. Nothing, but nothing can harm me now." And then it says, "Sensational. The new Superman, kryptonite can't hurt him anymore." We don't know if these guys are bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly right.
It looks so
thing.
lame.
They're just dudes in suits
It's like
with
lame
Nerf guns
dudes.
Yeah.
shooting kryptonite rocks at Superman, and he's smiling. It's like tickling him or something.
And I love all these books are pretty much just to get you to go, well, why is kryptonite not hurting him? I guess I gotta read the book.
Right.
Yeah, it's literally just like one gimmick. It's like such a gimmick thing. Like,
Yep, I read that. Yeah. It's extra. Supergirl meets her Kryptonian parents. It's like, okay. And this is, by the way, just so you all know, approved by the Comics Code Authority.
yeah, so it's okay for them to be pelting.
As some jerk wrote 5 cents on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Because they were trying to sell it for a nickel.
Back in the 1400s.
What an idiot. I go to a lot of flea markets and stuff, or I used to. I would see some of the stupidest shit. I would see books with no backing boards just thrown in Ziploc bags and sealed.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah, like stacks of them.
Yeah.
I've seen books with stickers placed right on the cover with
What?
the price on it. I've seen books, and here's my favorite one, with written on a Post-it and then stapled to the cover.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
What is wrong with the people of Ohio at these flea markets?
Well, it's not just Ohio. I've seen them other places as well. But yeah, growing up, there was a lot of dumb people there at the flea markets in Ohio that would do stuff like that.
Mm.
And, you know, you travel all the state, which I did, you know, a lot with my parents in Ohio. Because, you know, if you didn't have a lot of money, vacations were kind of local.
Right.
And, you know, so we got to know a lot about Ohio.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of antique shopping and stuff because you could always find good deals there.
That's cool.
And, you know, I could get a comic book for $1 or something like that. But even when I was young, I was still like, I'm not getting that. It's stapled. What the fudge?
You fucked that up, sir. Hey,
Yeah.
don't talk like that. You're 6. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck
surprised
you.
I'm surprised you never found like an Action Comics number 3 or something during your travels.
I know. I never got that lucky. And if I did, I probably blew my nose on it and threw it away or something stupid when I was a kid.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. The things we could have done if we had known now what, you know, known back then what we know now as far as
what
books.
that means
Oh,
is
yeah.
you wouldn't be $110,000 short.
No, that's true. I'd be $110,000 in the plus, in the green.
Yes.
Yeah, in the Kevin Green.
I knew I shouldn't have used that Detective Comics as a jizz rack. Oh, well.
Oh, well. Well, with that,
He's so kind. If you have made it this far in the podcast, to rate us, subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes, Instagram, Facebook, and all Twitter and all other means possible.
please support your local comic shops. It's where we like to hang out, and obviously sometimes we will possibly
See you
At the comic shop.
This has been The Real Short Box. We'll see you at the comic shop. Thanks for listening.